I have a question. In what ways can you better show up for your children? Most importantly, during this time where you actually have an ability to impart change on them. What ways? Like, could you be more grateful for them? Could you find ways in which to show gratitude towards the small things that they do? Could you find a way to show that you really appreciate them of applying their best effort to doing their assignments or just doing their chores or just them being on their best behaviors? And I share this because so often we put a lot of emphasis on relationships. So we don't really put a lot of emphasis on the relationships that we have with our children. And when you understand that sometimes the void that we're seeking in the form of material things, in the form of relationships with other adults, oftentimes we're neglecting the relationship with our inner child. And a huge advantage of having children is that you get to see an embodiment in some aspects of yourself. You have an insight of being able to heal parts of your inner child that may not have been healed as well. And so this is an opportunity for you to, instead of, because sometimes as parents, it is what it is. We all have done it. Sometimes as parents, our children may get the worst of us because they're going to get the parts of us that may be tired, that may be exhausted, the parts of us that may be frustrated. And it's almost as if they should expect us to just accept that mommy or daddy isn't feeling their best today. All right. But we have to understand too that the same things that we felt that we were taking for granted for when we were children, we have the ability to not revisit that trauma or that pain on our children. It doesn't have to be anything extreme at all, but just giving them a sense of recognition that they are appreciated will go a very long way. And furthermore, it is so much easier to provide love and nurturing and compassion towards children and build them up in the right way instead of when they become adults trying to rectify issues within them. And I'm sharing this because I'm grateful that I have children that, I mean, they're growing up now, but I'm grateful that instead of me focusing so much on material things, I focus more so on their mental and spiritual well-being, which is going to really outweigh a lot of things that they're having to come in contact with. And they'll avoid a lot of conflict as well when they have a good foundation, when they have a good, solid emotional connection within themselves and also with their parents. And so it doesn't matter what temple you come from. You may not have had the best foundation in your own childhood, but the tools that you were given build on them. You know, we're supposed to improve each generation. And the improvement, this is an aspect of you healing from generational hand-me-downs, generational curses, or generational traumas, intergenerational traumas that may have been passed down. All right, by simply, being present when your child is speaking, actually engage with them, look at them, and let them know that they are valued. You could be tired, but by you taking that time to say, okay, I see you, I'm present, it's not only going to take a few minutes, if that, and more often than not, they don't really even want much of your time. It's just that moment of seeing that they're seen and they're validated through you. And sometimes I speak on this platform about not needing validation for others as an adult, but this is how you get there. When you're validated as a child, when you grow into an adult, you don't have that need for wanting others' approval because you have that foundation built already within you. And so I also want to focus on 1 Peter 4:9, which is be hospitable to one another. Like I mentioned about, unfortunately, at times our children can get the brunt of our frustrations because they're there and they are our responsibility. But you have to understand that sometimes you can create issues by not being patient and not allowing yourself to understand that the thing that I do in this moment right now, if I'm frustrated, if I, am tired or whatever is going on, if I'm running out of time, it could have a dramatic effect on your child for the long term. So instead of having to repair damage, prevent it. Take the time to show gratitude toward yourself, show nurturing toward yourself. Take that time to, if you need a rest, get rest. If you need to go for a walk, do whatever. But do not allow yourself to be in a position where you're running on fumes and you are reacting or rejecting your child. Okay? No longer is the day where, and I see a lot of people moving into the space of healing from their own things that they've experienced in childhood. And it's not to put all that weight on our parents in the sense of them not being the best that they could have been. Many of them may have thought they could have been the best that they could have been with the tools that they have. But I believe that if you know better, you do better. And if you are watching this, this is a sign that you are engaged and you are aware enough that you got ability to shift things forward within the generations that come after you. It's really that deep and it's really that heavy. And it's really, if you really think about it, when you begin to put this in practice and be more conscientious, not to just say whatever comes to mind, but to really be conscientious about what it is you say and how it's going to have an effect on your child, it's going to be easier and it's going to be second nature. And pretty soon it's just going to be how you react. And so begin to foster that hospitable connection between you and your children, because that's also providing healing within you so that you can actually have a family that you're very proud of. And prevention is better than cure. Okay? Preventing damage to your children is better than trying to cure them from, you not healing from things that you needed to heal from.